and everybody to with Lady T Speaks TV, where we talk about relationships. So let's continue on the conversation about preconceived ideas. And we left off talking about two other, um, I don't know if I call them characteristics or attributes that you would like to see in your new relationship. We talked about intimacy, loyalty. We also talked about trustworthiness. We talked about vitality, attractiveness. So today, I just want to talk about a little bit about status and resources, and then we'll talk a little bit more about passion. All right, so according to this article, I was reading by Dr. Whitborn, and of course, I got it out of Psychology Today. And so they talk about status and resources. So, do you crave having a partner who will help you climb to the top of the social ladder? Or if you're already there, do you feel that your ideal partner should be as high status as you are? On the other hand, do you feel uncomfortable around people who are higher on the social status in terms of prestige and influence? If so, your ideal partner will have humble origins and will presumably be satisfied with remaining this way rather than seeking the baubles of success. Financial resources don't always go with high status. As a person with a high school education who's a successful entrepreneur can be far wealthier than a doctoral level academic. If you want your ideal partner to be wealthy and don't care about social status, then you'll seek out those people who you think can provide you with a cushy lifestyle. It's possible, on the other hand, that you feel that wealthy people are overly superficial and too preoccupied with the material things in life. In this case, you'll find your ideal partner to be one who's happy living on enough means to be able to afford housing, shelter, and some things that money can buy, but not much more than that. Among both men and women, status and resources are the least qualities in evaluating the ideal partner. People are most focused on the psychological characteristics of a potential mate than even their health or their wealth. Now, that's important, and I'll tell you a couple reasons why. Number one, um, if you come into a relationship and you're both not equally matched financially, it can pose problems down the line. For an example, if I'm a professor and you may be a blue collar worker, a mechanic, something like that. Um, Now, our intellect may not match. Some people that's okay, because again, you're looking for internal rather than external. So that might be okay, might not be a deal breaker, it might be okay. But for some, it may be an issue based on who's going to pay for what and how you're going to do your finances. How do you handle your finances? And that's important in a relationship as well. You need to know if your partner going forward, now in the beginning of a relationship, you pretty much have separate everything. But as time goes on and you find out that you want to become more involved with that person, you will start to talk about finances and who's going to pay for what, especially if you decide to cohabitate or if you're going to get married. You're going to know that that person is good with their finances, whether they are high end or not, whether they have a prestigious job or not. You want to make sure that that person is able to handle any bills, any situations that may arise that come up in day to day living. And if you don't have that with their partner, then you're going to run into some issues. And I don't want to talk about finances too much because that's really detailed and it's a lot that goes along with that. And I'm going to get into that eventually because it's extremely important in a relationship. There are so many couples who do not have the same value about money. and they come from two different perspectives. So money might be, you get money and you spend it. For another part, it might be money, I get it and I save it. For yet another person, it could be I get money and we spend and we save. We do a little of both. But you need to know that going forward in a relationship. So the status of the relationship, as far as where I work and what I do in terms of employment, in terms of a career, is important as well. If I have a person who works all the time, then there's no time for romance. So there has to be a balance in all of that. If I have a person who doesn't, want to have a career and they just going from job to job, that poses another issue in a new relationship. And we're attracted to people for different reasons. And so you have to, again, you're thinking about your self-assessment of going into a relationship. You're thinking about what are deal breakers for you, what are you looking for, what are the characteristics you're looking for within that mate, and you're looking for what type of a partner you can move forward in a long-term relationship. So these are things to really think about. Again, think about what you want in a relationship and what you're willing to, what your expectations are, what you're willing to compromise on, what you're willing to not compromise on. Those things are very crucial. And even though you're starting a new relationship, you should still be thinking about that, because most people want to, be in a long-term relationship. Some do not. So it's not for you. And remember, this is just for information purposes only. So I'm giving you this information. You can do what you will with it. But it's really good information for those who are starting in a new relationship. Again, those who want to find out who they are, what they want out of a relationship, so that when you go into a new relationship, you already understand what it is you want and you don't have these preconceived ideas. These can sabotage your relationship. I can't emphasize that enough. So we'll come back, we'll talk a little bit more about passion. I want to really get into passion and how it's important. But again, your status as far as job, career, employment is equally important. It's not high on the list of expectations, but it's something to consider. All right, everyone, this is Lady T with Lady T Speaks TV, where we talk about relationships. All right, I'll come back. We'll talk about passion. Take care. Talk to you soon.